Hello everyone, Daniel Yuck here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Today we're going to be diving into an in-depth review and taking an up-close look at this product right here from a company called InkClaw. This is going to be the InkClaw Phoenix 2.0 grip that is compatible with needle cartridges. With that being said, we're going to take a look at the performance. We're going to take a look at the product in its entirety. Should you have any questions at any point throughout this video, I highly encourage you to drop a comment below. I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive straight on into this. So at first glance, we're greeted with the standard InkClaw box, as you can see right here. Allow me to show you all what's under the hood. So right off the bat, we are greeted with an assortment of different wires, as you can see right here. We have an RCA, we have the traditional clip cord, and then we also have, I believe this is going to be DC or something to that extent. Forgive me if the terminology is not correct for this one, but these are the different wirings that we have here. I'm going to be using this one 10 times out of 10. Everyone in it's going to vary, I'm positive, but we do get those. As you can see, we're greeted with a tool right here with an extra little screw there as well. We have the charging cable right here, as you can see, USB. I believe this is going to be a C or USB-C. Again, don't quote me. My terminology may be a little bit incorrect in terms of like what that is and what the end is called right there. As you can see, we are greeted with the grip. We're going to get into this here shortly, but allow me to actually get this out here. Let's take a look at this right here. So what this appears to be are different tubes for this part of the grip. As you can see, we do get different size tubings here, as well as some push rods here, as you see. So that is excellent. Let me place these back over here, and let's take a look at the grip right here. So this is the Phoenix 2.0 grip from InkClaw. As you can see, it is compatible with needle cartridges. This one is not the one for traditional barred needles. We will be doing a review on that one as well, but for this one we're going to keep it to the needle cartridges. Allow me to try to show you all here. So this is what the Phoenix looks like up close in its entirety, right down the tubing there. It's very difficult to get a good look inside there, but I'm trying my best for you all. And this part right here is where the tips of the plugs will go into. So allow me to just kind of demonstrate that. So all of these different connections have a magnet like this at the end of them, as you can see. And what that magnet does is it connects to this part like so. And then you would plug this into your machine, and that's how you would begin running it. So that is the setup. It's very, very straightforward, unique, very novelty-like as well. But this is a grip in its entirety. Allow me to show it to you all here. Showed you all down the barrels. It does have a bit of weight to it as well. This is the power button, as you can see, and then we have power up. Voltage up, voltage down. Very nice, very straightforward. If I hold these two down together, you can see we activated the jumpstart feature. Press them to turn it off. Very intuitive, very nifty there. So all in all, it feels great. It does have a bit of weight to it, which is something I thought I was going to be against, but I'm not. I'm actually a fan of the weight. Let me actually show you. So this part right here, we can autoclave this part, and we can autoclave the tubings here, this part. We cannot put this into an autoclave. This part right here, it has electrical components, obviously, that are running this part of the machine. So we cannot put this into an autoclave. We can put this part right here and this part. Allow me to show you how to remove this rod right here. Removing this rod is very straightforward. You're going to grab the tool that it came with, and the screw that we want to remove is going to be this one right here. We don't want to touch this one. So if you're holding it facing towards you, the screw that you're going to want to remove, or if you're holding it facing towards you with the buttons up, facing at you, you're going to want to remove the screw that's on this side. So all the way around right here. I'm going to simply place the tool in there, loosen it just a bit, pull the bar out. I can autoclave this part right here, and I can autoclave this part right here. So these two I can put into my sterilization pouches and then autoclave these two right here. That's a certain, we can do that. But again, just to reiterate and confirm, we cannot autoclave this right here. This side, you're gonna want to approach this with opticide wipes or cavicide wipes, something to that extent. You would simply want to get the wipe and make sure that you're wiping thoroughly, leaving it on the kill time there, and maybe even getting a Q-tip and getting that solution in there. If you can't get your wipe, and roll it up. But you're just gonna want to be mindful of cleanliness and make sure that you're thoroughly wiping this down after each and every use. But not only that, you're gonna want to make sure that you're thoroughly wrapping it prior to using it as well, just to make it more of low risk. So the first InkClaw Grip that came out, we weren't able to take it apart like so. So everything was all built into one unit here. But this one right here, as you can see, it all comes apart like this. We can autoclave this, we can wipe this down. Very, very good to get to where we are going. To place it back together, it's just that process in reverse. Place the tube in, and then you're gonna want to get the screw, and then simply fasten it like so, and you're good to go. As you can see, we're now ready to rock with this tubing right here. And then this right here, one thing that I also want to point out is there is a little dot, as you can see. This little dot right here on the grip, this part is very important. This part has to line up with this part right here. So like the buttons are going to line up with that dot. So I'm going to place the grip on like so. Then you want to lock it in and then turn it. Very, very simple. And as you see, that dot is lining up right here. So it shouldn't be over here. The dot shouldn't be over here or anything like that. This dot right here should be lined up. And to do that, I place it, turn it a little bit this way. Once I find that groove, hold it, click in place. Very simple, very straightforward. I'm now ready to rock. Now for setting up, for me, I feel, in my opinion, it's very straightforward and direct here. Now here we have an InkClaw cartridge. We're gonna be pushing a standard 9-round mag. We have the push rod, we have the cable that we need, and then we have the More Money tattoo machine right here, as you can see. I will be doing an in-depth review on this one as well. This one is also by InkClaw. Now, as you can see though, the newer models of the Phoenix 2.0 grip now have a little indicator letting you know what screw that you're gonna loosen to take the rod out here, to take the tube out here, forgive me. I thought that was nifty, just to confirm the dot goes up front. Now, setting up is going to be like any other style of, or any other machine that's similar to this style. What I'm going to typically do is I always begin with placing the pin in here, or I'm sorry, the push rod, forgive me. Place the push rod in there like so, and then I'm gonna align the rod with the Phoenix 2.0 grip like so. And how I adjust my needle depth, I simply plug the machine in, place a cartridge inside, and then I run it and I can adjust it accordingly. As you can see, what I'm gonna do is simply adjust it like so. So as you can see, setting up is very straightforward as well with the new Phoenix 2.0 grip. It works smooth. Has a bit of vibration, but the weight is nice as well. I can feel some of the air right here being pushed. Let me actually place these bands around here like so. So this is a very nice, unique setup. This is something different from what I typically use. However, I'm a fan of it. This type of machine, or this style of machine rather, is growing quickly on me. I don't feel wrapping would be hard. It is going to be a little bit different from how I normally wrap. We are going to get into wrapping here shortly, and then we will get into the performance. But my first impressions right now is this is a flawless setup. This setup is nice. futuristic. It reminds me of like an old school style setup, but with modern technology, if that makes any sense at all. As you can see, nice, smooth, and consistent. It's a beautiful machine. It's a beautiful setup. The InkClaw Phoenix 2.0 grip is a massive update from the first grip that InkClaw ever came out with. And again, there is a 1.5 grip, a Phoenix 1.5 as well. That is going to be for the traditional bar needles. We'll also review that. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. But as you can see though, I want to show you the consistency up close for those of you who are thinking about investing into one of these. Allow me to show you all the performance here. So it's a very beautiful machine. It's a very beautiful setup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the wrapping aspect. After the wrapping, we can go ahead and test the performance, and then we can come back and I can give you all my final opinions on this machine in its entirety. Okay, so now that the needle depth is adjusted and the machine is flowing and working smoothly, what I would like to do is begin wrapping it before I even, have a client there set up. Before I even start tattooing in general, I'm definitely going to want to wrap this as I want to minimize a risk of contamination here. So I'm going to place a barrier. And a barrier that I'm going to use is just simple saran wrap, as you can see right here. And you don't need much of it at all. Just enough to make sure that you thoroughly place a barrier around the grip. We're gonna get to this aspect as well. So as you can see, I'm just gonna grab some saran wrap and literally just get a piece like so. And then I'm going to cut it off. And then just wrap it as I see fit. This is literally all very straightforward stuff here. I want to keep this open as possible so that way I can get multiple layers around. Have a nice thicker layer as opposed to just one thin layer of plastic. Now this area right here, since it's moving, I want to be careful with this aspect of the machine. We could approach it with saran wrap as well, should we choose to do so. To each their own. Now for me, the easiest way that I figured out how to put a sandwich bag on over here, and again, I'm sure that they make better bags, I just don't use this style of setup, so I don't have any readily available to me. So I'm gonna make do with what I have. But this is not the ideal approach that I would want to take. But you could even approach it like this, how we have some, wiggle room right there. And we can kind of just use some adhesive wrap or anything really to bind this down right here. So like a barrier film a bit more smaller. I don't need to cover the whole thing again. So just find out how you want to wrap your plastic here and then just kind of tape it around to hold it on like so. So as you see, I have an entire cover around the machine. So there's an entire plastic barrier around the machine and I could still fully run it, use it. So you just move the plastic around a little bit, I'm good to go. And then for those who are curious, I could still see the voltage through there. I'm not sure if you can see because of lighting, but the voltage shows through just fine. No issues at all. As you can see though, I'm now ready to rock. And again, I know that this isn't an ideal approach. The bag really doesn't look aesthetically professional to some. However, this is definitely going to do the job. It's definitely going to do what I needed to do. So what I would like to do now is I would like to test the performance of the machine. I want to throw some lining at it. I want to try some shading and just test out some essentials that I use upon tattooing to see how this machine performs in its entirety. So with that being said, let's go ahead and proceed to doing so. So I'm going to begin with testing some packing of black. I have a wormhole silicone hand here just so that way I'm not tattooing on a flat surface. And I have a Scotch shop wipe over, and this is a real skin silicone slab. And we're going to be running the InkClaw 2.0 grip here. And I'm gonna pack some black, and we're gonna see how this machine packs right now. I'm sorry, how the grip works in unison with, in conjunction with the machine, how it feels. I'm running at 8 volts right now, even. And one thing that I will say though is the grip feels really consistent. It doesn't feel gimmicky or anything like that. It feels nice, stable, steady, and consistent. The cartridges feel great. It's packing black just fine, as you can see. With no issues. I will bring you to an up-close view here in a bit. I just wanted to show you from different angles here. As you can see though, packing of black is seamless, no issues whatsoever in terms of packing it. In terms of packing. I understand this is a mild demonstration, however, I feel that this can really illustrate the potential of the grip combined with the machine here from InkClaw. Okay, I'm going to show you some up-close action here with some packing of black, and then we'll pull some lines, maybe do some stippling here. So you can see the setup that I'm using. So you can see it's packing black nicely, even pulling lines with the mag is nice as well. Okay, so what I want to try out next is the round liner. We're going to pull some lines up close, and we're just going to see how that works overall. As you see, this is what we are working with. And keep in mind, this is the 7-round shader, the standard 7-round shader, and this pushing, it feels like it has a soft hit, but not, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't really have a soft hit. It does feel like it's hitting direct, just straight on. What you put in is what you get. This is the best way that I can explain it. It feels smooth. You can see these are really smooth lines. They're nice, saturated, and clean. So I do like how it feels when I pack black and I pull lines. Again, this whole setup is different from what I typically use. I'm used to the pen style tattoo machines, so this is a whole new world to me. However, I could quickly adjust and get used to this here. So this machine and the grip though, the grip is actually, it works. I mean, it just works. It's not gimmicky, it's not anything like that. It's actually a great novelty machine. Overall though, we can now access parts where we weren't able to in terms of sterilization. When we get chemicals into the tubes, we can, take out the tubes, we can take off the tip, we can auto clear the tube and the tip. We couldn't do that on the first grip InkClaw made. So these are just massive updates. And the machine, the InkClaw machine, the more money machine, in unison with the InkClaw 2.0 grip, it feels great. It feels like a perfect combo. So I'm sure even with the barred needles, it's gonna have that feel to it as well, and which we will get to, not in this video, but we'll make another video on that grip, and we'll make a video on the tattoo machine that I'm using as well right now. So be sure to hit that subscribe button for me and ring that bell. So right now, I'm genuinely impressed with the performance of the grip. I'm genuinely impressed with the more money machine and the entire setup. Keep in mind, I'm not used to this sort of setup at all, but I'm still able to rock with it. I'm still able to use this. I can definitely see myself using this on human skin without a doubt, because I already know how I can sterilize it. I know how it works based off of using it on the silicone skin. Now, one thing I want to point out, one thing that I feel is important that I touch base on is anytime I've ever tested out a tattoo machine on fake skin and I've used it on human skin, it's always been almost transparent, identical to the way that it performed on fake silicone skin. So what I'm saying is, if the machines are shading, if the machines are lining, if they're packing, then they're going to do that on human skin. A lot of that comes down to our technical application and capabilities. But I wanted to point that out. Whatever I can do with the machines on human skin, on fake skin, I'm able to do on human skin. So that's why I keep with these mild demonstrations, because I really do feel like they illustrate the point and show you all the machines in action. So as you can see, back-to-back lines after I've gotten used to it and a taste of how to move with this specific machine, all's working well. I'm going to put in the 5-round liner. I'm going to see how the machine performs using a smaller configuration of such. So for that, I'm going to be using the InkClaw standard 5-round liner, and then I'm just going to test out like some dots. I'm going to test out a little bit of stippling because I can get that stipple effect with a 5-round liner. I'm just going to even try and pull some lines with a smaller configuration of such. But all in all, right now, I can highly recommend this machine, especially if you like this sort of traditional style setup. This is actually a really cool setup. It's actually a very powerful setup as well from InkClaw. Oh yeah, even pulling round liners. Round liners is a breeze, like cake here. So as you see, I'm able to pull nice, clean, smooth, saturated lines, and this is a standard 5-round liner. This is a really small configuration, and even doing dots, because it has a soft, or it feels like when it has a soft hit, when I use the tip of the needles, it'll be great for dot work as well. What I would like to do is I'm going to drop the machine down in voltage to about maybe 5-6 volts. So I'm at 6 volts even right now, and I'm going to try some stippling here. Lately I've been stippling like at 5 volts, sometimes I've been stippling at 8. Lately I've been on 8 volts a lot with stippling. It's a dramatic difference. But you can see how the InkClaw grip in unison with the InkClaw More Money machine, it provides me with a good quality workflow, a good user experience as well. I think that these sort of machines are great, ideal for like tattoo collectors, people who actually collect tattoos and travel to get tattoos from different artists. This machine right here is definitely one that I would consider tattooing those clients with, especially if the clients are traveling to come get tattooed by me, something like that. These are great machines all around, but not just for that, they're great for tattooing. It's a really powerful machine. And I was a fan of the first grip InkClaw ever made, the whole concept and everything. I've been a fan of it from the start. So now that we can sterilize everywhere, it's amazing. But as you can see, I can get a nice peppered, textured look with this setup as well, with this machine combined with the grip. It's completely capable of doing almost all the aspects that I need to do in tattooing here. Allow me to just do a little bit of dot work to kind of end out this video. But for this Phoenix 2.0 grip by InkClaw, all in all, it's definitely going to get a 2 thumbs up from me and a 5 stars, simply because of the performance, because now it is a low risk and highly usable machine, or grip rather. Again, we're going to touch base on this machine in another video. All in all, if you were looking into getting a more traditional setup but with a modern twist, I would recommend checking this out. I will leave links for you in the description below so you can check this out on your end. There is nothing gimmicky about it. This grip right here with this setup, and if you have a different machine, I'm sure that it'll work with it. It just works. It's very straightforward, it's powerful, it's direct, it simply works. That's really what I can say about it. Did I notice anything adverse within this time of using it? Absolutely not. No hiccups. It did not heat up or anything like that. It's still truly responsive, even with the layers of plastic wrapped around. You see it right here in this video. Now, if I didn't touch base on anything specific that you may have wanted to know at any point throughout this video, please, I encourage you, drop a comment below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. I also have social medias all under the same name as my YouTube channel, Daniel Yuck, DANIELYUCK. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I would truly appreciate the support on there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, as I'm going to be bringing more videos like this, more reviews, and more. Thank you for tuning in yet again. You all have a great day.